Mr. Roden, what kind of work did you do when you worked and the defendant was your supervisor?
I was a warehouse position. I did shipping and receiving.
And what was your position?
I'm the general manager of the company.
How long have you been the GM of the company?
I'm going on about a year now.
And how long were you with the company?
I want to say a little shy, under a year, maybe a year.
So you were both relatively new to the company.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
long has the company been in existence?
I'm going on 20 years.
And you're a recent employee.
I've been with the company for 3+ years. I was recently promoted to the general manager position.
Okay, and what did you do prior to being the general manager for the company?
I did customer service and sales.
Did you hire Mr. Rodan?
No, the previous general manager.
And what do they do?
We're a wholesale distribution for animal supplies and grooming supplies.
Do you have hiring and firing responsibility?
I do.
Now, the plaintiff worked there for about as long as you did, according to what he said, in this particular area, in the warehouse area.
Correct.
And he was fired when?
On the 3rd of July.
So you had worked together with him for about 8 months.
Correct.
Prior to that. And your lawsuit is a simple one. Your lawsuit is for money that you say you are owed as a result of a commission for something that you did as sort of a side job for him.
Yes, ma'am.
Not your regular job, because you were paid for your regular job if it was for something else. And you're also suing for wrongful termination.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You worked under him for 8 months, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And he gave you an opportunity to do something at a show.
Expo, yes, ma'am. Pet Expo.
At an expo that was outside of your regular work.
Yes, ma'am.
In what month was that?
I want to say maybe February-ish. I'm not sure. I'm not quite. It was a while ago.
Well, this is your case, so you have to know. This is what we're talking about. This is what you're suing
Sometime
him about.
February, I believe. It was a Pet Expo.
And you weren't fired until July.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, it's your claim that in February you were asked to do another job.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about it.
As a warehouse guy, I loaded the trucks up with...
I know what that you did. You were a warehouse guy.
But...
what at the expo? That's the extra money that you say you're
upsell.
owed.
And I upselled at least 4 dryers, maybe more, dog dryers. And I was promised beforehand that I would receive a commission because I was already upselling dryers within the warehouse. And they kept telling me...
Just a second. Who told you you would be receiving a
Chris.
commission? Did he tell you how much?
No, ma'am. He didn't tell me how much.
Where did you have that conversation with him?
In the warehouse.
Tell me what he said. Do you want to work this expo? I want to hear the conversation.
Basically, I had sold a...
Not basically.
I had sold an expensive dryer that we carry, and he told me, you're able to do upsell. I'm going to see, because I kept asking about commission. I said, I'm not getting what the sales guys are doing in the front, but I'm able to upsell product back here as well. He said, we're going to get you in the computer, we're going to get you in the system so that we can get you commission for upselling these products. And so I was...
That never happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you worked there February, March, April, May, June. You saw that you weren't in the system and weren't getting commissions. So
I had asked about it. He then said that I was in the system. And then after the expo, I thought I was going to get a commission on my check.
Well, that's February. February, March, April, May, June, and you were fired in July. What happened to the 5 months?
I never got a commission check for that.
Okay. Now, let's get to the wrongful termination. You were terminated from your job on July 3rd. He's going to tell me why he terminated you. Go.
On July 3rd, I had worked with Mr. Rodan. He had requested with our owner for some time off with a Post-it note. Our owner...
Just a second. So we asked your owner.
Correct.
Did you ask the owner for some time off?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we asked the owner for some time off. When was that?
That was on the 3rd of July.
Yes.
Now, the owner is more of a silent owner. She doesn't have direct operations.
Listen to me. You're lucky I'm letting you get away with that little bit of hearsay. He asked the owner for some time off on July 3rd, and...
She told him he needed to ask me, so he...
Is that correct?
No, ma'am. I have proof that she left a message that it was okay for me to take those days off.
May I see it?
It's the first one. He states that he saw...
Shh. Okay, so I have a couple of questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
On what date were you arrested in a company truck?
July. In July. In July.
You mean July of last year? He fired you July 3rd.
No, July of... It was... no. March, May, June. June, I'm sorry. It was in June. It was for a seatbelt that I had on.